welcome back. This is section 2.4, also called as maintenance testing. So generally, projects like after active development and deployment generally tend to go to maintenance mode. In maintenance mode, the same team may be maintaining the product, or it might be outsourced to some other team for maintenance. So during these maintenance phases, like the testing that we carry out is called maintenance testing. Now, we will look at what are the triggers for maintenance testing and impact analysis for maintenance. So as we were talking about, once deployed to production environment, software system needs to be maintained, and there will be maintenance releases also. So like maintenance releases may require testing at multiple levels. So like let's say project is in maintenance phase and a maintenance release is planned, the trigger could be the degree of risk, or a degree of changed area. So basically, what degree of risk is involved for the changes done during maintenance phase, and how much areas are changed, that decide or that govern the kind of testing that we do during maintenance phase. Now, the size of existing system, how big or how complex the system is, and then accordingly, the testing approach changes. And as we were talking about, how big the change is, or how much impact the change is having on the product, that also governs the maintenance testing approach. Okay? Now, like if there are any modifications, if there are any migrations during those phases, maintenance testing is carried out. We also tend to carry out impact analysis for maintenance testing. So like if there is maintenance testing, we do impact analysis, how much impact will be there on the product, and how are we supposed to test that, how are we supposed to test the maintenance release features. So the general difficulties that we encounter during maintenance phase are specifications are out of date. The specifications for which the product is developed may be out of date, meaning we may be referring to some specifications very old, and actual behavior of the product may be different, and then test cases are not documented or out of date. Like let's say you are just given the test cases, and if they are not documented well or out of date, or if they are not in sync with actual behavior of the product, then that is a red flag. And then if the test the team that handed over didn't maintain bidirectional traceability, meaning or test basis to the test cases, if traceability is not maintained, or other way around, from test cases to test basis, if the traceability is not maintained. Simply put, let's say you are given 100 test cases and you don't know which test case is for what, right? It should be clearly tagged to a certain requirement. So if a particular test case is not tagged to a particular requirement, we will not know for which functionality the test case is implemented, right? And for execution, there may not be a tool support, or the tool support may be weak. And if, as I was talking about, the team that developed the product and the team that is maintaining, if they are different, and the team that is maintaining or which took over is not having the domain knowledge, that is also a problem. And then maintainability, like if the team that developed the product originally, if they didn't bother too much about how the product will be maintained subsequently, meaning the required attention is not paid during development for maintenance, that could also lead to potential problem areas. So we saw about what are the difficulties and challenges that one may face in maintenance testing. So with that understanding, we completed chapter 2. Let's meet in chapter 3.